Brian Tramel, RynoJB, Rollin Into Mempho.
Mercy Daddy live from the 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPod.club production. I'm BT, and that right over there, he's back. RynoJB, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. It's another Saturday, which means it's another blessing from Championship Wrestling from Memphis. So
right on. Excited to have you back. We had a little fun with you left. You went somewhere. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. And then I told Terrence, we had Terrence, already planned to come in. I was giving you heck about he's coming in to take your job. And then it was just him. It was hilarious. I was like, well, yep, took care of Rhino. Now you're taking Rhino's spot. I can't get a hold of him or anything. But you text me Friday morning real early. I woke up, I rode over, and I had a text message from RynoJB, and that's unusual for that early in the morning. But you had some fun last weekend. You wasn't at home. So tell the story and where you ended up at.
Last weekend, I went to Atlanta for Zicky Dice's Outlandish Paradise, and it was an exclusive Twitch show for Twitch viewers. If you are a subscriber, or not even a subscriber, if you're a viewer on Twitch TV, you can find it on twitch.tv/Zicky Dice. And it was one hell of a wrestling program featuring some of the best wrestlers that you're going to find out here to date. I don't want to say too much. I want people to go check it out. I want you to hear me say this. It was one of the best live action wrestling shows I've ever been to. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out, not only on twitch.tv/Zicky Dice, but you can also find it on his YouTube platform as well, which I believe is youtube.com/Zicky Dice. But it's on Zicky Dice's official YouTube platform. You can find it on both on YouTube and on Twitch. That's where I was, man. I had the time of my life.
Cool beans. What we'll do is I'll put the links into the description. So if you're watching this or listening to it on the clips from YouTube, or if you're listening to it on iTunes or a podcast catcher, all you got to do is go into the description and hit the link, and the links will be there. I seen some of the very first numbers for that. It was scary. And, Gargano also watched it. He watched it, and his people watched it with him. I was like, that would have been a great idea. I should have done that. But it was scary. And me and you have not talked about this. Well, we kind of have, where there's some kind of crossover. And I talked to the wife after I seen those numbers, that there is something there that eventually the Twitch wrestling crowd is going to grab a hold of, and Twitch and wrestling is going to have a lot of things going on. I know they do now, but I'm talking about a lot of things. Those numbers were unreal about how many people was watching that show. So go and watch it, guys. Like I said, the links will be right in there. Real quick before we get to our show, just so you know, Rhino has informed me we have some remodeling going on in the background. So. And if you see somebody back there, he does love his mama. He's already told her that. I heard it. All right. And also, you mentioned this, but before we went on the air, we had Martin this past Tuesday, and I told you, and I'll just tell everybody here, very proud of that interview. Sometimes you talk to someone, you don't click. He was just really Martin Boyd is who he was. Martin, a.k.a. Precious, very, very good interview. We also had Observing the Observer, where we went and looked at Wrestle Kingdom. What did Dave say about Wrestle Kingdom? What was his ratings of the matches? What his fans of the newsletter thought of the show? Me and Lance told what we thought compared to that. This week, we have an interview with Scott and Andrew. They're doing a new show right here on STSPod.club called Newsstand versus Newsletter. And what they'll do is they'll take a year, they'll look at the Observer, and they'll look at Pro Wrestling Illustrated and all of that was going on. Who were they pushing compared to what was going on in the real business? So it's really fun. They've already got 3 or 4 episodes done, and I've got to sit and listen. 2 fun guys. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. All right, let's get ready, buddy. If you haven't watched this before or listened to us, it's hits, misses. MVP, what do you look forward to the most next week? And now we do a must-see. No thumbs up or thumbs down, must-see. So let's get started with you. First of all, remember last year, the Grind City Rumble winner was Alan Steele, which I find it very interesting. He wasn't even in it this year. Got me to thinking. So I just want to say it. It just got me to thinking. All right, let's go, man. What were your hits?
One of the hits for me this week was the return of Big Ace. Big Ace has been a staple within Memphis wrestling. We haven't seen a lot from him. We did in the beginning of a championship wrestling for Memphis in the very beginning last year. I would say probably about 8 to 7 months ago, we saw a lot of Big Ace in tag team competition. We saw Big Ace return here, and that was a big hit for me. Another big hit for me was Thunder Rosa and Jordan Grace being a part of the Grind City Rumble. I thought that was a great look for Thunder Rosa and Jordan Grace, and of course, championship wrestling from Memphis. And also another hit for me. You guys might see my mom in the background here having a little fun, but she had a laugh when Dustin Starr told Maria Starr, I thought the sneaker horns, I thought that might have been you. When he made that comment there, she got a good chuckle out of that. So I had to put it down as one of my hits. And those are my hits this week. All
right, man, I got more hits this week than you. That's unusual. Really good. I'll talk about my misses, but let me talk about the things I liked about the Grind City Rumble. Motley Cruz coming into the ring with a kendo stick. Yes. Motley is history of Memphis wrestling in the area, and I love this about Dustin. He does not, old WWE would never tell you where these guys came from, and he talked about kick-ass wrestling, and that Motley had been part of that. Also, Danny B. Good had been part of that. I love that. Trace Hunt also in the match, and he actually mentioned that he's from EPW. So I love all that stuff. You don't want to make your fan base think they're stupid. So that's what I like about it. I like the little quick team up with Big Swole and Jordan Grace, but it didn't last long. We had a Young Goats posse brawl that I really had a fun time with. Jordan Grace and Rosa all in the ring together against each other. Fun stuff. Skylar, man, did they put Skylar over big time or what, man? She put both of them over. She finally got hit in the face and got out. In my final hit, Austin Lane's back. We're excited about Austin being back. All right, buddy. What about you in misses?
For me, a miss was Amber Rodriguez eliminated by Thunder Rosa. I wanted her to be eliminated by Skylar. We saw so much of a buildup between the two of them. I thought that elimination was going to come by Skylar, not by Thunder Rosa. So that was a miss for me. Also, speaking of Skylar, another miss for me this week. You just mentioned it. Skylar eliminated both Thunder Rosa and Jordan Grace. That's a miss for me. Unless I get a match within the next month, a couple of months, where Skylar shows me where someone of Skylar's caliber eliminating both Thunder Rosa and Jordan Grace, man, you got to think she's going for that women's championship. And if she's going for that women's championship, how are those skills looking? That's what I'm looking at right there. Another miss for me, Kay Toomer eliminated by Uncle Mikey and not Austin Lane. Another situation where we're looking at both of these competitors in the ring, and the Grind City Rumble calls for all of them to be in the ring with each other. However, the eliminations caused by other individuals, hey, look, it is wrestling and anything can happen in the world of professional wrestling. But for me, just for your boy BT, it was a miss that it went down that way. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'm not a fan of battle royals, and I even got a call from somebody in a championship wrestler from Memphis today before the show to say, BT, I know you're not a fan of battle royals, but give this one a chance. Come on. I hate to tell y'all, but at the 30-minute mark, I was ready for it to be over. Okay, I like the beginning. I like the stuff with Rosa and Jordan. I love the Skylar build-up, and I love the ending, but I have a hard time with that. I'm just disappointed, and I'm not sure, but I would have liked to see Jordan Grace and Thunder Rosa do something else in the two shows. I know they were there for the whole taping there, but that was the build for the main show, so I understand what they did, but I would have liked to see more of them. That was my only misses. I'm not a battle royal fan, but say that I did enjoy the show. I said it would have been better if it had only been 30 minutes. We would have done something else, but maybe less people next year. But they did have fun bringing everybody in. Real quick before we go to MVP, I want to take a moment and talk about Patreon. We will spin the wheel. In February for January, we do the giveaways in the odd months. Low tier is $5. The package this year is the Memphis Wrestling Awards Banquet. Me and you were there. Package. It has a DVD of the event. We have 2 Memphis Wrestling t-shirts, 5 12x18 posters, 4 different VIP lanyards, a video of Terrence Ward announcing you coming to the ring, the winner. We'll have all kinds of stuff. We even put some of that non-alcoholic beer in the box. So it's from our sponsors. Yes, non-alcoholic beer. Remember, it's non-alcoholic, so we can send it to anywhere in the United States. So thank y'all. All right, man. It's MVP time. Who you getting the MVP to?
I'm actually giving my MVP to Austin Lane. My man came back off of an injury, came in at number 30 in the Grind City Rumble, but came ready for a fight. The look on his face, the determination, the whole atmosphere when Austin Lane, I don't know if you heard the ring announcer calling down the wrestlers down to the ring there, but when he said Austin Lane, he said Austin Lane with a little bit of passion in his voice. So
that was a good ring announcer. It wasn't Terrence. It wasn't Terrence Ward. And the ring announcer was what do we call $5 ring announcers compared to 25. Terrence would be 25. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
At least you gave me 5 and not 1. At least you gave me 5. I'll take the 5, baby.
Loved it. Yes.
I got to give it to Austin Lane, man. Austin Lane coming in there winning the Grind City Rumble. He's got to be my MVP for this episode here.
You gave it to Austin. I had Austin wrote down, and I'm gonna go with Austin too, but I'm kind of split it. I'm gonna go with Austin and Skylar. This was kind of Skylar's coming out party.
Yeah, it was.
She showed out today. DDTs stayed in for a long time, but did all kinds of moves. We've only seen her do 2 or 3 moves, but she worked hard to look good for this match. And I said this when she started the turn, she's going to be a really big baby face. And you mentioned sometime getting a title shot. This might be the person to put the belt on. I don't MVP Skylar, and I'll give a honorable mention to Austin Lane.
I will say this, BT.
Go ahead.
When it comes to Skylar, if you go to the shows, you're going to see more and more people wearing that Skylar merch. I mean, immediately as soon as they put it out, I haven't seen as many fans wear any other set of merch as they're wearing that Skylar merch. The fans, you want to say babyface, the fans are behind Skylar 100%.
Good deal, man. I like to hear that. All right, guys, it's time for that was MVP, by the way. It's time for question of the week.
Welcome back to another question of the week. Of course, I am Dustin Starr, and here is where I answer your questions. Today's question comes from Ed. Ed's got a question. Who are some of the most freaky strong wrestlers in the weight room that you've witnessed? And are there any stories with that? Wow, man. I mean, I think the obvious story is John Cena or Big E, because those have been well documented on WWE. But I remember being a part of the WWE developmental system there and seeing it firsthand just how freaky strong these guys are. But if I want to reel that back into Memphis wrestling, gosh, I would say the gun show Bret Michaels is one freaky strong guy. In certain situations when you're having to manhandle somebody, I don't think I've quite seen anybody do it like Bret Michaels as far as just brute strength. Actually, let me take that back. What about Big Swole Justin Cole here recently? Saw Martin dive off the top rope. Big Swole literally caught him, flipped over, did a deadlift and a squat into a Swole slam. And I'll tell you that Martin's at least 250 pounds. And that's coming at you fast off the top rope. So there's a lot of really freaky strong wrestlers out there. If you don't believe me, just look it up. And also, you need to join us here live at the Wrestle Center, 3296 Winbrook Drive. Get all of your tickets at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. Our lineup is so hot right now. Oh, yeah.
All right. That was question of the week. That was kind of there's all kinds of I don't know, us urban legends about the top lifters, and there's videos of some of the guys. He did mention Big E, and there was a guy by the name of Doug Furness. He had some world records and really showed off. So my pick for one of the strongest guys was Doug Furness. I'm always impressed when the guys, I guess, manhandle each other, where the one guy's not doing really what, or is confused about what's fixing to happen. And Big Swole is one of those guys that has showed his strength, where I've seen some gym stuff that he's doing too. Him and Brett Michaels just totally impressed me when it comes to the weight that they use.
Yeah, for sure. I have to completely agree with you on that, especially with Big Swole Justin Cole with that slam that he was doing, especially throughout the month of October, I believe it was, for breast cancer awareness. That was absolutely incredible. We saw him lift up, who was it? It was Big Swole, and he lifted, I believe, I could be wrong. I don't want to say the name because I could be wrong. I don't.
All right, yeah, Big
But
Swole.
we were very impressed by one of those big slams that he did, and that he was able to carry that person over. Man, when it comes to that, man, Big Swole Justin Cole has just been absolutely amazing.
And also, they always talked about the Road Warriors and how strong they were in the gym. So that was a different era. They were maybe using some supplements, let's just say it that way. But the strength there was, like I said, I think the strongest guy I ever seen video of would have to be a guy by the name of Doug Furness. So, all right, that was question of the week. All right, what do we look forward to for next week's show?
For me personally, I'm looking forward to those tag team championships held by the Young Goats, man. I want to see the Young Goats get into action. Out of everything that I've seen, I need to see those Young Goats, and not just because out of everything that I've seen, but Aaron Roberts getting his eye attacked there. What's the comeback? We saw a little bit of anarchy, if you will, from the posse there here in this episode. Just a little bit, man. I want to know what Aaron Roberts and what Zay Washington, what they want to do in a match, 2-on-2, more in tag team action against the posse there. I want to know what's going to happen next with that. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
It's going to be different because me and you are used to, and we talked about this a couple of times. They are wrestlers, and we've seen them wrestle.
Oh yeah,
the Young Goats, but we also like the Young Goats for their style, what they do with the high flying and everything.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting because they're going to have to knock it down to just brawling, which may be a higher level. But this is going to be a total different Young Goats in the ring with the posse. The posse's always been good brawlers and can do a little bit of everything. So it'll be interesting, and I'm going to say seasoned veterans in the posse. It will not surprise me, and I know you're going to be shocked. I wouldn't say this until right at this point. It will not surprise me to see the posse win the tag team belts in a brawl all over the place. And speaking, before I get, let me go ahead. What I look forward to the most next week is we got an AEW match right in Memphis Wrestling Ring. Yeah. Next week is Brian Cage against Joey Janela. I'm kind of interested to see how they do that. I heard the crowd was really hot for that match. So we're excited to see what's going on. If you have not seen this, before I say must see for this week, I honestly think, and I went back and watched it 3 times, I think the Mike Anthony, Brett Michaels match from last week, there's the standard, guys. Beat that match for match of the year, or we're going to be giving that match of the year in December. This is a match that was not even supposed to happen. There was not supposed to be three versions of this match because of technical difficulties in match 2. They then went to the well one more time. They have so many callbacks from the first two matches, and also the angle. Very, very smart match. Go and watch. I want you to go and watch it again, right on. Very, very smart match. How it ended in between some of the spots they did. Guys, if you want to see how to put together a good brawl and a good match, go watch it. That is a standard, guys. That's the standard for the year right there. Must see for this week. What was a must see for you?
The must see for me this week was Kate Toomer. I think that people were for this week right here with this Grind City Rumble. I think that Kate Toomer is one of those wrestlers that when you look at the Grind City Rumble and you look at all the wrestlers that came in to this Rumble, you looked at Kate Toomer as the winner. As soon as he came in, I think that most people say, all right, well, this guy's going to win right here. His ability and his skill takes him to a whole nother level. He didn't win the Rumble, but I think that, my gosh, if you want to see must-see action right here in this one, look at Kate Toomer, and also you got to see what he's done the week prior and next week as well. That's my must-see right there.
All right. Must-see for me is Rosa and Jordan Grace. It is being in the ring face-to-face and them fighting and everything, wrestling each other. I call it it was pretty much a fight. What got me there is it reminds me of old time wrestling and Memphis wrestling, and I mentioned Houston wrestling, where there was always the champions would come in and you'd get them in all kinds of weird situations. Botwink would be wrestling a guy that was and on the card, upper card, you'd have the WWE guy. It was just fun to see that, and it's fun to see him bring people from different promotions. Also, the must-see for me, I love this stuff with Toomer also. But one of the other must-see clips to me is actually Austin Lane winning and him being in the ring and him and Mikey just sitting there. I don't know if that's a full Mikey turn or not, but it felt like one. It really did. He raised Mikey's hand. He was telling him something. Most of those guys just thank each other for what they're doing, but it was a good moment, good wrestle moment, and a good story. Well, like you said, Austin Lane getting hurt, coming back. Boom, we got Austin Lane and Bret Michaels walking into the ring. The whole end of it, where Bret walks into the ring, they're both standing there, and you think to yourself, does Austin Lane have a chance against this monster? Both are baby faces. Very interesting booking. All right, man. Guess what?
Holler at me.
Holler at me. Same bat time, same bat channel on the Best Little Wrestling Podcast. The business. Be there. And as everyone knows, JB loves his mama.
Wherever
and
she
I
is.
love